We are going to do a 30-minute ground and restore, and I'll give you an option towards the end to make it a 40-minute class as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. You'll need at least one pillow or bolster. So I have a bolster, I'm at the studio, but at home I just use like a couch pillow or a more firm bed pillow. Maybe you stack a couple. You can take a thick blanket and roll it up as your bolster. Lots of options. Anything that makes you feel supported, but it's still soft and comfy. So we each have 3 bolsters so that we can show you how to do this with pillows at home. But there are a couple where you could also use blocks if you have blocks, and I'll tell you those when we get there. For now, just go ahead and put your pillows or your bolsters at the front of your mat and put them aside for now, and we'll start laying down flat on our backs. Just give yourself a moment to land. Take stock of how you're showing up. And can you use this time here on your mat to clean out the clutter? I've been thinking of it as like unraveling the jumble of knots and thoughts. Maybe you just pick one string and you try to unravel that over the course of this practice so you feel a little bit more tidy in your mind when we're complete. Take a couple rounds of breath, just following the path of your breath in through your nose, to your throat, your chest, your belly, and back out. Couple more rounds so that you can make sure your breath is nice and established before you add in any movement. And in your own time, begin to draw your knees in towards your chest and reach your feet straight up towards the sky for waterfall. Roll your ankles. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Perhaps it's a hug pose to draw your knees into your chest. Whatever feels good. Just to slowly come into your body. Notice what movements, or even lack of movement, helps you start to clear out space. You can bring your palms to your kneecaps and circle your knees around a bit, rock side to side. Option for happy baby, if that feels okay for you, you can grab behind your knees. You don't have to reach your feet. It's really more about relaxing your whole spine into the ground than it is about reaching your feet. Begin to make your way to a tabletop. You could roll to one side and then press up. Or you could rock back and forth. there. Take a couple rounds of cat-cow. On your inhale, lower your belly, lift your gaze. On your exhale, round your spine to the ceiling. A couple more like that. You could circle your torso over your wrists. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Three-legged dog, lift your right leg to the ceiling. Bend your knee, open your hip. Take circles if you want, or you can land your left forearm on the ground. And press back to a child's pose. Your forehead can come to the ground. Maybe you bring a pillow under your chest. We won't be here for very long though. Just a second to reset between sides. And press back, downward facing dog. Left leg high, three-legged. Bend and open. Maybe your right forearm comes down. Tabletop. Inhale, cat pose, gaze up toward the ceiling. Exhale, cat pose, round your spine. Inhale, your right hand high. Exhale, thread the needle. Notice those threads of thoughts. Sometimes they can feel so jumbled that it's hard to separate them and really know what's going on in your mind. Can you use this time to notice them and pick one to work on unraveling? Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Supported side plank, peel open towards the right side of your mat. Your right foot can stay grounded. You can also lift your right leg up in line with your hip. Draw your low ribs and the front of your hips towards each other so that you're not arching your low back, and instead you're hugging in, creating the container for your core. Gate pose, right foot is down. Sweep your left hand up and back. Take a few breaths here. Breathe into the space between each of your ribs on your left side body. See if you can lift up and then lean over a little bit more, like you're leaning over a ball. Half child, windmill your arms down to your mat. Press your hips back. Your right leg can stay straight back behind you. If you'd like to bring your right leg out to the right side, more laterally, you can do that as well. Come back to your tabletop, just inch your way forward. Land your right knee by your left. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale your left hand high. Exhale, thread the needle. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder. Supported side plank. If you're someone who feels like you always need to do the most, the invitation is for you to use this practice to slow down and be in this space where you're letting the ground hold you. Maybe you wobble. Where you can do less. Just be. Gatekeeper. Right hand reaches up and back. Half child's, windmill your hands down, slide your left leg straight back, or your left leg out to the left. Straight out from your left hip. Come back through tabletop. If you'd like to turn this into a 40-minute practice, you can do one more of those postures on each side. Otherwise, we'll move on to the restorative postures from here, beginning with a supported child's pose. So you'll need one of your bolsters, and you'll bring that bolster between your legs. Your knees come out all the way to the edges of your mat. Draw the bolster back between your thighs. And you're gonna fold your chest down over the bolster. If you'd like to bring a second bolster or a pillow or a block underneath it so it's not so low to the ground, you can prop it up with whatever you have available and just begin to drape yourself over the top of the bolster. Bring one cheek to the bolster to start, it doesn't matter which, and I'll tell you when to switch. As you rest here in the first restorative posture of this practice, notice if your mind is resisting the stillness. It's okay if it is. Maybe you repeat a mantra to yourself like, you are enough, or it's safe to rest. Maybe you take a couple big sighs through your mouth. Take about 5 more breaths on this side. And just switch your gaze to look the other way. Again, maybe coming back to that mantra of I am enough, or it's safe to rest. And as your mind and your body begin to settle down, does it become easier to unravel the threads, the messiness and jumble of thoughts in your mind? Begin to press into your hands to rise up out of this. I'll quickly show you half frog. If you'd like to do this as a 40-minute practice, then you'll do half frog here with the bolster under your chest. If you don't have one, you can do this lying down. You'll bend a knee out to 90 degrees and just settle. Your forehead can go straight down or look to the side. You can also put a block or a pillow under your bent knee. Just hold on each side for about 3 minutes, or if you don't want to look at a clock, enough time for your mind to wander, and then you realize it's wandered and you come back. For the rest of us doing a 30-minute class, we'll set up for supported fish. So you'll just keep one bolster vertical on your mat and flip around. The bolster will start at the base of your spine, and then you'll drape yourself back over it to begin. For a less intense option, keep your knees bent and your feet placed firmly on the ground. If you'd like to intensify a bit, you can reach both of your legs out long in front of you. You can do this with your arms straight down by your sides, or you can bring your arms out to a T and really take up space and wiggle your shoulder blades underneath you, broaden the space across your chest. One more option to increase the back bend a bit here is to turn your bolster horizontal on your mat. So it's like creating a T with your body. It's by your low ribs at the tips of your shoulder blades, and then you drape back over it. Your ribs will feel like they're kind of flaring and lifting up toward the ceiling here. This concept of saucha or purity can also be interpreted as cleanliness, a tidiness of your thoughts, maybe even of the way you orient yourself and your props around your mat when you come to practice, so that you have a tidy, orderly space that your body can settle into. So as you continue this 40 days, or just the practice of developing a home practice, can you create a dedicated space for yourself in your house, your apartment, that feels clean and tidy energetically, and the clutter is moved aside, the floor is swept, where you can really let yourself settle. When your physical surroundings are set up, can you use that as a visual cue to allow your body and your mind to settle? Whether you're doing a restorative practice like this one, or a vinyasa practice, can you use your body and your breath to help you unravel and clean up the jumble, the strings, the knots that are in your mind? Bend your knees and plant your feet on the ground. Turn your bolster horizontally if you haven't done it already. And press your feet down into your mat and just slide the bolster down underneath your sacrum for our final posture, a supported bridge pose. You could double up your bolsters. You could fold your pillows, fold your blankets. Find a height that feels good, where you feel physically supported, where you feel safe to rest. And as you prepare to end your practice and take it with you off of your mat, I want you to once again take stock of the clarity of your mind. And as you go about your evening or your day, notice if there is a string that is telling you it's ready to be set aside, something you can remove from the jumble and let go of to create a bit more purity of your thoughts, a bit more clean, open space. You'll shut up for Shavasana whenever you're ready. You can slide the bolster down underneath your kneecaps, perhaps one under both knees or just one for both legs. And let yourself rest here for as long as you have time for. And this is where I will leave you. Again, rest for as long as you can, as long as it feels good in your body. And I will see you soon.